Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I'm going to be watching back my skydive that I did in Playa del Carmen in Mexico in September 2022. This is the first time I've actually sat and watched this properly in almost a year and a half since I did the dive, so let's jump in.
Hello, brother. What's your name?
James.
James, where are you from?
Manchester.
Manchester, nice.
Yes.
So tell me, your skydive, the first skydive today?
First skydive today,
How
yes.
does it feel? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's my birthday today as well.
Really?
35.
The special day.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. Come on, let's go. On the camera. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Go, man. Let's do this. Watch it.
So, these guys were great. Yeah, this is a little bit nervous when I was sitting so close to the pilot. And it's literally just the four of us in the plane, just sat down on the back like that. Yeah, it was. It's one of the most interesting flights I think I've ever been on. As you can see there, I'm smiling, but inside I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm holding on to that. I think I remember my hand holding onto that leather strap. It was like digging into my hand because it was the only thing that I felt like was keeping me in one position. Yeah, when we actually arrived, the guy who did that intro then, he wasn't the person who jumped with me, you'll notice. We were meant to do the dive in the morning, but because the weather changed, we had to wait about an hour before we could do it. But the team were amazing. They were on it. They knew exactly what was going on. They weren't ever going to bring us up into the sky if it wasn't safe. So that was what my biggest concern is, like, is this going to be safe in a country where I don't know what the regulations are around this? But the Skydive player team were recommended to me from a friend who'd been to Cancun the year before, and I mean, just look at those views. It's crazy. We just kept going up and up and up, and I was sat next to the door, so I was the first one out. Oh my god, wow. It's a good thing they've muted that because you just hear me screaming. I think they turned the sound on in a bit, actually. I was struggling to keep my head back. They told us when they do the instructions, when you drop, first keep your head back, so then that way you've got a way to breathe air in and out. Whereas if you're just coming down like this flat, you can't breathe because the air's just hitting you. There we go. And then he's pulled the cord now on the parachute. And then he's handed over the camera to me now. I can take my goggles off as well. Yeah, one thing I wasn't expecting, but makes sense, is that when that parachute pulls and drops, everything, your whole body weight is basically being suspended through the harness, which is around your crotch. And let's just say that it wasn't the most comfortable. You can see here, I'm not looking, sticking my tongue out. I was maybe just trying to get some saliva back in my mouth because I was so dry, and yeah. Smiling on the outside, on the inside I was like, down there is in pain. And I think also when I was coming down initially, I was really struggling to breathe for the first bit, and then obviously tilting my head back helped. But yeah, I think like when you notice you can't breathe, you start to panic, so that's why I was like doing some deep breaths here on the second bit. But those views though, it was crazy. So whilst I was up in the sky, my partner didn't do a skydive, and also the other guy who was in the plane with us who jumped after me, they had their kids with them, and so they were all put in a van and they were brought to where the end of our skydive was going to be, so they could be on the beach waiting for us. You can just see him actually at the top there at the back. That's the other guy. And then I think you should be able to see Cozumel, which is the island just opposite Playa del Carmen, which you can get ferries back and forth to. sea is just so clear, isn't it? Wow. And one of the things I didn't realize about Mexico, I'd never been to Mexico before this trip, but if you go in the sea, the temperature of the sea is around 25, 27 degrees. It's actually warmer than like the temperature in our house is here. It's mental. It's crazy. We went diving as well, and you didn't even need to wear like bodysuits to go under the water. It was crazy. I couldn't get my head around the sea being that warm, especially when I'm from the UK and it's always freezing. The sea is never warm. And then we're coming into land now, and just coming in over the top of a hotel where I think everyone was cheering us on. And then on the landing, I basically have to have my legs up, so the guy behind me is the one that's going to actually stop us moving. Look at that hair. There we go. That was my skydive in Playa del Carmen with the Playa Skydive team. I do recommend, so yeah, check them out. The website's in the description below. It's $269 when I booked it back then, and I paid a $99 deposit to originally get the booking reserved, and then they confirmed the date when they knew the weather was best. So if you are in that area, I would highly recommend. Thanks for watching.